Feminism and its causes exist to create equality amongst the sexes, whether it be social, political, or economic equality. Therefore, it simply does not make sense to expect only half of the world's population to achieve something so colossal. Good afternoon to the House at large. I'm the first speaker of side opposition, and I'm incredibly proud to oppose the motion that women should reject male solidarity and feminist causes. My main point of positive matter today will be that feminism benefits both men and women. But before we can have this debate, we need to understand the context in which we're having this debate, and that is in an extremely tumultuous political landscape, but also in the wake of Donald Trump's inauguration and the subsequent Women's March that happened in various countries all over the world. So ultimately, what we're seeing in the wake of these events is that women are standing up and defending the rights that they have worked so hard to earn and what they so desperately want to protect in these tumultuous times. But we're also seeing feminism and its ideology slowly creeping its way back into social consciousness. It is becoming a buzzword that women are now wearing with pride, and it is no longer deemed taboo to view yourself as a feminist. But also, while this is happening, we are seeing a rise in male support and solidarity for feminist movements, and this has been both applauded and criticized because some women within the feminist movement feel that this is a movement for women by women, and therefore male voices and male experiences have no place within this movement. This brings me on to my first point of positive matter, in that feminism benefits both men and women. And that is because feminism aims to create an egalitarian society free of a gender-based hierarchy. So now we need to understand where men and women fall within this hierarchy. Men are obviously at the very top of the hierarchy, while women are at the bottom. And we're all very aware of the stigmas that surround masculinity and femininity, as in men cannot be emotional. They are deemed as weak when they show any emotion, whereas women, when they do show emotion, are also deemed as weak and overly emotional, and it is somehow indicative of their ability to make decisions. But the commonality within this hierarchy between men and women is that they both live in male-dominated societies, and this creates two very unique burdens on both men and women, in that men live in a male-dominated society and they're being given power that they quite frankly never asked for, and do believe it is morally wrong to exercise, because with this male domination they can essentially oppress women. Whereas in this male-dominated society, women have to conform to very restrictive and archaic ideas of what femininity is, incidentally created by men. So what feminism aims to do is to dismantle this hierarchy between men and women, and to have everyone on equal planes, because feminism, at the end of the day, regardless of its name and female-driven narrative, it is essentially about equality for all. So the place that male solidarity plays within this is that in our current power dynamic within society, men hold the power because men are right at the top of the hierarchy. They actually have the power to change things, and so male solidarity comes in that it is now the responsibility of these men in power to ensure that women are being treated equally as them. Men now have the responsibility to speak up and oppose any oppression that they see being committed against women. And so male solidarity is incredibly important because women are sadly at the bottom of the hierarchy, and there's very little we can do. And there's very little we can do officially. And so we need men to join the movement and to recognize women as their equals, but much further than recognizing it is that implementing it and protecting it. It is men in power who now have the responsibility to implement fair pay within their businesses, and it is up to men with power to ensure that women are being treated as equals. And so male solidarity is incredibly important because achieving equality is something so colossal that simply cannot be done with one group of people. And we as side opposition feel that the more people you have involved, especially men, this will ward off any conflict or feelings of resentment, because men played a part in the liberation of women. But more than that, what feminism does is that it liberates all people. It liberates women from feeling like they need to be relegated to the kitchen and to be homemakers, but it also frees men from the idea that they need to be strong at all times and that they need to be the sole breadwinner of their families. Feminism is doing away with the hierarchy, and with the hierarchy, those stereotypes that confined men and women to particular roles within society. We as side opposition feel that if we can get something done faster and smoother and with the most amount of people, we feel that it is the best way to get something done. We feel that men should not only stand in solidarity with women, but they should be right there on the front lines fighting with women. Obviously, women's voices will still be prioritized within the movement because they're essentially fighting for their rights. But at the end of the day, feminism benefits men and women because it liberates us from the societal confines that have been built around us. And that is why we, as side opposition, proudly reject the motion that women should reject male solidarity and feminist causes.